more Baby Yoda forever. If there's no Baby Yoda, everybody's going to stop
Peace
watching.
Out. Love it. Joey.
Is Baby Yoda coming back for you at all, Joe?
I do think they need to give us a little bit of time without Baby Yoda.
Grogu's done. It's not the Grogu show. It never has been. It's the Mandalorian.
I think both of these men are wrong. He might be gone for like the first half, maybe the first 2/3 of the season, but he's coming back. Everybody loves Baby Yoda, including you two, in case you've forgotten.
Welcome to Krypton to Alderaan, the podcast that analyzes all things nerdy pop culture, but it's mostly Star Wars. I'm your interim host, Royish Goodlooks, and I'm here today with a very special episode, theories and predictions for Season 3 of The Mandalorian, but with a twist. These clips were recorded in August of 2021, before the Book of Boba Fett, before any trailers for Mandalorian Season 3. So it's packed full of wild opinions, wild speculation. It's a fun little time capsule, and we hope you enjoy. All right, I got a curveball. Maybe Mando gets a new ship?
Yeah, no, I want him to get a new ship, like a cool old Clone Wars era ship like his ship was. They don't have to say that, but I want it to be cool and old. Yeah, because what's he going to do? He's got to get a ship.
The Mandalorian has gone from planet to planet almost every episode. So without a ship, what's he going to do? He's got to get a ship.
Yeah,
I don't want him to stay in one place. I don't want them to be on the new Mandalore the entire season.
I have two ways that I would like the season to go, and I would be happy with either. Number one, which I think would kind of be funniest, is if the season just opens with Luke giving Baby Yoda back to Mando and being like, he's a pain in the ass. I cannot train him. All he wants is this ball. He wants you. Cannot train him.
He's throwing up
Reject.
macarons all over my
He's eating all the cookies.
robes.
Yeah. Like, just take
Threw
him
up
back.
all over these ancient Jedi texts.
Yeah. So I would be very happy with that if he's just like, take him back. And then they, continue going on adventures. Or if he keeps them and he trains them and you kind of see like a little bit of it throughout the season, like he's learning and he's training and he's becoming stronger. And then like the last episode of the season is Baby Yoda coming back by himself and like saving Mando, saving the day.
Yeah.
But like not falling asleep when he's done.
Will you really be happy if he doesn't like officially join the Mandalorian team until the last episode?
If they show him like a little bit throughout the season, I will be more okay with that, as opposed to like not having him at all for the entire season and then having him come back like right at the end. But if he's just not in the entire season at all, I'm done.
Is Baby Yoda coming back for you at all, Joe?
Okay, should I go?
This is
Should
the
I make a
elephant
couple
in the
of points?
room, I feel like, is like Baby Yoda content.
Personally, the way I've written down my thoughts, Baby Yoda does come back. I do think they need to give us a little bit of time without Baby Yoda. It's the Mandalorian and not the Baby Yoda show. Like halfway through season 1, everyone jumped on board with the Baby Yoda show. And I would love for it to be the Mandalorian for a little bit. And I think they set that up really well at the end of season 2. Straight away, I think I'd like to see a time jump. I don't need to see how they resolve the Darksaber stuff. I don't need to see them like Bo-Katan and Din Djarin fight over the Darksaber. I don't think I need to see that. I just want it resolved. And I'd love to see Din sort of continuing his education on Mandalorians, like season 2 taught us that he doesn't know everything about Mandalorians. He was just as surprised to find out that there are like different sects of Mandalorians. Maybe he's learning more from Bo-Katan. Maybe, like you said, Royce, he's learning more about Mandalorian history, but doesn't always need to be wearing the helmet.
They have to explain all of this other canon stuff to the casual people somehow. So obviously you do that through Din learning about Mandalore and whatnot. I think you could maybe do flashbacks easier than a time jump where you're like, just accept all of this history that's happening. Mando's on Mandalore. Like we need to see them going to Mandalore. And didn't they mention something about taking it back in general? So we got to figure out why they need to go to Mandalore. They do have to resolve the Darksaber thing, but through that and getting to Mandalore, we'll be caught up to speed somehow with all the history.
Bo-Katan in season 2 was talking about uniting Mandalorians, and I do want the Darksaber. Here's what I want. I want Bo-Katan to be ruler of the Mandalorians, unifier of the Mandalorians with the Darksaber. I would love to see Din having a new ship, going around on an overall quest to collect Mandalorians, to go out into the galaxy and find Mandalorians and unify them. So the remnants of the Empire and Moff Gideon are hunting a lot of the characters down, but I'd love to see Din out in the galaxy recruiting Mandalorians, saying, hey, we've got a new leader. She's got the Darksaber. We need your help. We're creating a new Mandalore. Come to this place and we'll all be united.
Maybe he's going to disband all the Death Watch people, and like convert them.
Yeah, it would be really great. The first 2 seasons, I think there was so much character development. I think certainly more that's ever been seen in live action Star Wars. So to have Din applying what he's learned to the future of Mandalore and Mandalorians, like, hey, I didn't know. I thought Death Watch was it. I thought this was the way. And it turns out there's more than one way. Come join us and learn about your history and learn about your culture and help us defend ourselves against what's left of the Empire.
I'm sorry. There are many ways is not an acceptable catchphrase. I don't think we can print that on a t-shirt. All of your other ideas were moderately acceptable. But you're going to have a new catchphrase. So on that, another maybe that I had maybe Mando becomes a respected leader, because you're like, he's got to get the Darksaber to Bo-Katan and she's going to return everything to its former glory. But the show is The Mandalorian. So to me, The Mandalorian is Din Djarin, not Bo-Katan, right? So like Joey says, it's going to kind of refocus on him. But does he become a respected leader, or does he remain this lone wolf traveling the galaxy?
When I was thinking about all of this, the thing that I came to with like Din keeping the Darksaber and being sort of Mandalorian ruler would be that I really want to see him out in the galaxy having adventures. And it seems like if he's the one holding the Darksaber, he would have to be wherever Mandalore is, ruling over the Mandalorians.
Sure. I like that. That makes a lot of sense. That's an easy plot line, and he can jump around and he can get a ship and the ship can break. So I don't have an overarching plot in mind, but that makes a lot of sense. I like what you said, but I don't think Luke cannot come back, man. The CGI doesn't work. He can't be on screen like doing stuff unless his hood is up. The only cool part about him coming back was when he blew up all of the Dark Troopers, and that was probably just some other dude. So I don't want to see Luke's face. That's not good enough for him to be a main character. Luke's hanging out with Grogu. So I'm sorry, Grogu's done. It's not the Grogu show. It never has been. It's The Mandalorian. They introduced all the Mandalore stuff, and I think Joey's right. They're going to just kind of like reel you in a little bit.
So that's a really good point that I didn't consider. I guess it would also be probably smart and maybe a good storyline to do this season without Grogu and tease him for the next season.
Why does he? He doesn't need to come back.
I'm with you, Royce. I don't think it's necessary that he comes back. But it seems like they were setting up the cloning stuff. And it seems like Grogu was a big part of that. If they had set all the cloning stuff up with the scientist and then the facility on Navarro, and they don't address that in the next season or so, then that's a huge plot point that they introduced that they've done nothing with, and we need to know more about that. And Grogu was essential to that.
Maybe. I don't know if that's important for the overall show. I think you hit the nail on the head with it being a lot about Din Djarin's character development. He was like this lone wolf, and then he became a daddy, and he had to give away his kid, and now he needs new purpose. And I don't think his new purpose is going to include Grogu, but the cloning thing, you're right. Like the Empire will still be looking for Grogu. I think it would be cool if they had some sort of mega event that they were building to that they could set up early on in the season so we all could figure out what the show is supposed to be about.
Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones, for example. Maybe they don't execute it super awesome in the end of the series, but they're like, oh, the White Walkers are coming, and we got the wall, we got to protect the wall. And that was sort of like the looming end game of the entire series. I would like something like that with Mandalorian, that you're like, they're going to build up to the Battle of Mandalore at the end of the season or something, the Siege of Mandalore or whatever. And that's something that we're building to. And we're like, this is going to be a crazy event for the season finale, because those are the best season finales, when there's like stakes at hand. There's never really been crazy stakes. It's always been an adventure. And then at the end of the adventure, there's like a big boss battle. But like, I want more higher stakes for the whole thing. Now that he's in with the rest of the Mandalorians, like you said, maybe this hangs on the balance of the New Republic and the New Order, or the First Order, or whatever they are. There's more there than just him jumping around from planet to planet being like, I need the information you have. Where should I go next with this information?
Yeah, there needs to be more. I was trying to think of what like would be a satisfying climax or something to me, and I just don't know what they could do. Yeah, right? I just don't know what they could do. Like, don't do a Death Star thing. I am pretty confident that that I am going to like what they do. Right? They've done a good job for 2 seasons. I really like the storytelling that they were doing. And who am I to come on this podcast and say, this is what I want from this show? The answer is, I'm me, and this is my podcast, so I will say what I want.
More Baby Yoda forever. If there's no Baby Yoda, everybody's going to stop watching.
Out.
Joey?
Love it. Joey. I like the idea of upping the stakes. You know, so far it's just been like Mando and Baby Yoda traveling the universe together. Why does that matter? I think that's a really good point. And like, they've got to up the stakes. I think having some sort of like end game where like they bring some things together is a really cool idea. I'm into that.
Woo.
Yeah. And also ditching the like boring exposition. This is how this connects to this animated show that only 1% of you have watched or something. Yeah. I don't need to see that either. I think both of these men are wrong. Yeah, from a plot standpoint, the show doesn't really need Baby Yoda anymore. Like, he's off on his own little thing now. Maybe he'll get his own show. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he'll get his own show.
But I think the reality is that he might be gone for like the first half, maybe the first 2/3 of the season, but he's coming back. That's how they got people hooked. It's a big money maker. Everybody loves Baby Yoda, including you two. In case you've forgotten.
So if you've made it this far in the episode, you must be enjoying our goofy banter. So make sure you're following us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever we are in the universe. This has been a lot of fun today.
Actually.
I am smiling. Hopefully you can hear it. Robin is smiling. Lorelai, Joey is smiling. I hope you're smiling too. And we'll talk to you on the next episode. I have been Royce.
I've been Robin.
I've been Lorelai.
And I've been Count Dooku.
And we've been Krypton.